Hi, Julie. Hi, Amber. Thanks for joining. We're gonna wait another minute or two before we start playing this video while in case anybody else is joining us, we'll let them get settled in. So hang tight, go refill your drink if you have one.
Hey Chelsea, are we recording yet?
I don't know.
Yeah, it says recording.
Okay.
All right, we are going to play this short video here while we wait a couple more minutes in case anybody else is joining us this evening.
Ever since I was little, I always liked to play with stethoscopes and syringes. I even have a picture of me and my mom holding a baby doll, and I was wearing a stethoscope and I was listening to the baby's heart sounds. My great aunt also suffered from stroke, and she was bedridden for most of my childhood, so I always remember just being by her bedside and giving her medications and just being there for her, holding her hand and talking to her. So it kind of a natural thing to take care of people. So when it came time to choose my major, I decided to do nursing. There are a lot of schools in Jacksonville, and I had a lot of options, so I had to really do my research to figure out what's the best option for me and the best value for the money. Working at the Mayo Clinic, I had a lot of connections and a lot of co-workers who attended Jacksonville University, and so all of their feedback kind of put everything together, and I made my decision to apply to JU. There's so many fields that nurses can go into. You can either work in a hospital, in a clinic. You don't have to be a clinician. You can even work from the office or from home and be a nurse. So there's so many opportunities in the nursing field. So I'm really excited about going out there, serving people of Jacksonville, offering my skills and my care.
All right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on your Friday evening at JU Stay at Homecoming Week. We saved the best for last before our fireworks send off for this week. And I just thank you so much for tuning in with us and getting to know your DolphiNurse Alumni Network a little bit better. My name is Chelsea Shackelford. I work in the alumni office, and I primarily work with our alumni affinity groups and our reunion milestone classes and our regional dolphin clubs. Tonight, we do have a couple of people from the alumni office on the call. They're here for logistical and technical support. You see, we have Lauren Griffith, Marianne Jolly, Kimberly Trumbull, and Sarah Gordon. That's who we have from us here tonight. So why don't we just dive right in tonight? We have your chair and president of the DolphiNurse Alumni Network is Amy Mantione. She is a double Dolphin from JU, and I am pleased to introduce her to you all this evening so she can tell you a little bit more about our DolphiNurse Alumni Network and their goals and initiatives for the upcoming year. Amy?
Hi, thanks, Chelsea. Hi, everybody. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. As she said, I'm Amy. I graduated twice, first with my BSN in 2011 and then with my MSN in 2019. I did the acute or adult gerontology acute care NP program, which was wonderful. So before we dive into the fun stuff that we have for you tonight, I'd like to give you guys just a quick overview of the DolphiNurse key priorities. This year, we've decided to focus on three main things. First, we want to provide lifelong learning opportunities for our alumni, and we offer at least one CEU event per quarter. So save the date for our next one. It's Wednesday, November 4th, for a lunch and learn on pharmacogenetics. Learn more and register via the link in the chat. The second is we would like to provide scholarships for our students. A key priority is to be able to provide scholarships for students and alumni. We all know that higher education and continuing education is not cheap. So we've made it a priority of ours to fundraise for students through our events. And I'll explain on the next slide how you can help support us in our current campaign to fundraise for 6 additional NCLEX scholarships. And then third, we want to provide our alumni networking opportunities. So as students, we have plenty of opportunities to meet our fellow classmates, but after you graduate, it becomes a little harder. DolphiNurses host regular happy hours and networking events, and we hope that you'll join us in our future events whenever it's safe to do so. And then last but not least, we also plan to assist alumni by sharing employment opportunities. So now more than ever, personal recommendations are very powerful. We will begin sharing employment opportunities on our Facebook page and in our quarterly newsletter. So if you're looking for a new job or new location, reach out to us or anybody in our network, and we would love to help you. So I just want to take a little bit of time to go over. Chelsea, do we have the slide for the campaign?
Yes. You want me to talk about this?
Yeah, sorry.
No worries. As you all know, 2020 is Year of the Nurse and Midwife, and we thought that what better time for us to capitalize on this momentous milestone and to reframe it in a way to encourage our fellow Dolphin nurses to think back about their time at Jacksonville University and to think back and to give back. And so we have created a fundraiser for Year of the Nurse. Every year, the Dolphin nurses give out 3 NCLEX scholarships to graduating undergraduate students. We do it every fall, spring, and summer for those cohorts, but we would like to expand that so that we can offer scholarships to our graduate students and other degrees as well, not just nursing students. And so we have created a fundraiser, and our goal is to fundraise this year for 9 scholarships, which is $1,800. And if you happen to make a gift this evening, we will be sending you Kegon School of Nursing car magnet that you can put on your car and represent Jacksonville University wherever you go. So if you have any questions about that, please put them in the chat for us. We'd be happy to answer it for you. But basically, we're here to give back to the university, and we want to support the students. We know that school is not cheap, and the last thing that they want to think about is paying for the NCLEX right when they graduate. And so every little bit truly does count. And so we thank you if you are able to make a gift in support of that. Up next, we have one of our new board members, V. Williamson. She recently graduated from JU, and she has been appointed as the event chair. And I would love to welcome her to introduce herself, tell you a little bit about her, and give us a little overview of Year of the Nurse and why it's so important this year in 2020. V?
Hello, everyone. Very nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming. I am honored to be part of this event. I've learned so much from JU. I've grown a lot with JU, and I find it very important to give back to the nurses that come after us, because the nurses that came before us helped us a lot. So speaking of nurses, 2020 is the year of the nurse, and what a year it is. But leave it to the nurses to give their all and never stop fighting for their patients and for their families, to the point that the whole world is moved by their sacrifice and their love, and have them be declared healthcare nurses. Nurses represent a key component of a society that has health, productivity, happiness, progress, and longevity as goal. The World Health Organization, WHO, has designated 2020 as the year of the nurse and midwife, to recognize the vital role nurses and midwives play in providing healthcare services. According to the WHO, the world needs nurses and midwives, approximately 9 million, if it is to achieve universal healthcare coverage by 2030. And Jacksonville University and the Keigwin School of Nursing are proud to play a vital role in achieving this goal. Now, let me say this, that the Year of Nurse aligns with the 200th birth of the legendary Miss Florence Nightingale birth anniversary. Miss Nightingale was born in May 1820, and she is known for her relentless work during the Crimean War. She was also a visionary and a pioneer. She led to healthcare improvements, especially in the infection control area. These innovations by Miss Nightingale helped us obtain better patient outcomes, which in turn established the backbone of nursing. And up next, we have Miss Michelle McDonald, our secretary. She's originally from Toronto, has worked in various academic and clinical roles during her career, and we are blessed to have her as our clinical assistant professor in our JU School of Nursing. Please help me welcome the one and only Miss Michelle McDonald.
Hey everybody, good evening and welcome to our DolphiNurse Year of the Nurse event. And it's no secret there's something special about Jacksonville University's Dolphin nurses. Whether we work at the bedside, in rehab facilities, or operating rooms, home care, research, administering anesthesia, prescribing medications, or many other specializations, Dolphin nurses' professionalism and profound dedication to their calling has earned us a fine reputation among our employers, professionals, patients, and in our community. So we asked our alumni to share their words of wisdom. With that, we've created the DolphiNurse 10 Commandments of Nursing. So commandment number 1, trust your gut. And this is one I'm always reinforcing with my students. Go with your gut all the time. 99% of the time, your gut is not wrong. Be a team player. Number 3, find a good mentor nurse. Very important. Number 4, honesty is always the best policy. Number 5, do not be shy to ask questions and get a second opinion. Always important. Number 6, be protective of your health and know it is important to have you time. Number 7, treat the patients, their families, and colleagues the way you would want to be treated. Number 8, invest time, energy, and funds into your professional growth, for it will open many doors in the future. Number 9, show gratitude towards all your colleagues and help nourish a safe, professional, fun, and healthy work environment. And finally, number 10, nursing is a very flexible career. Be open to whatever opportunities may come your way, and it will lead you to finding your calling. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Marianne, do you have a special announcement very quickly to make?
So we did want to recognize Dr. Elaine Bourne this evening. She was a founding member of the DolphiNurse Alumni Network. I believe she's tuning in by telephone, but we're very proud as an alumni office and the university to recognize her this year as a distinguished Alumni of Excellence. Dr. Bourne has not only returned to her alma mater to be a faculty member, she has also led the university with leading the charge to open the first student health center. I know personally, I sat on many calls this, I guess I don't even know what to call it, COVID era, where Dr. Bourne led our institution through the preparation for the fall plan. And we are just very, very proud to honor a DolphiNurse this year with among our distinguished class of alumni, and just wanted to give her a nice nod during this event, as I know many of you know her, and just give her a nice applause and thank you for everything you do, Dr. Bourne. I know you are a model JU DolphiNurse for our students and alums. Thanks, Chelsea.
Thanks, Marianne. All right, well, this brings us to our open networking time. And so I invite you all to turn your cameras on if you don't have them on now, and you can unmute yourself. And we want to get to know who's in the room today. So if you're willing to introduce yourself, say your name, if you're a graduate or what you do and where you work in town, who wants to go first? And I'm going to stop screen sharing this so we can all see each other. How about Amber?
Okay, I can go next. I am a JU grad. I am working on my 4th degree, my DNP. So I don't even know what that's called, a quad. I don't even anyway, working on the 4th. I obviously got my BSN from JU, went and worked at Wolfson's for many years. I've been a pediatric nurse for 22 years. And I've been full-time at JU for over 8 years. And I was an adjunct before that. So I teach currently at JU.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Julie, are you with us? Can you hear us? We would love to see your face.
Hi. Yes, Lily and I are with you. Sorry, my dog was barking in the background. Hi,
That's
everyone.
okay.
Happy Friday. Yay.
Happy Friday. How are you doing?
Good. Chelsea and Marianne, you guys have been great this week. I know you must be just thrilled that Stay at Homecoming is about done.
Looking forward to fireworks this evening.
I know. What a
Absolutely.
celebration. I'm Julie Wright. I'm the admin for nursing, and I just help people do what needs to be done and help facilitate things. So I'm not an alum and I'm not a nurse, but I'm here.
You're a parent, Julie. You're a parent.
Oh, I am, yes. And a wife of a grad as well, so.
You're part of the Dolphin family.
Oh yeah, oh, no doubt. No, it's definitely part of the family. And I'm looking forward to non-COVID times when we can be more of a family again, so.
I second that. I second that.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. I see someone named Christian. Are you able to introduce yourself for us this evening?
That's Elaine.
That's me.
Oh, it is Elaine.
You little sneaky person, you.
Sneaky thing, you.
I thought I saw you and then I was like, oh, she must have hopped off. Oh,
No, that was me. That was.
congratulations.
Thank you so very much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
It's truly an honor. And I have to say this award just like, it really blew me away. And I love JU. I've loved everything about JU, and Amber knows this because we've talked about how much just JU means so much to both of us and what the nursing program meant to us many, many years ago. And what we have the opportunity to do now is to pour back into our students, and it's just really awesome. Amy, she was one of my students, and we had a lot of fun, didn't we, Amy?
We did. Best group ever.
Yeah, we had lots of fun in our acute care program, and I'm just so thankful to be a part of our ongoing JU family. And really working to develop our student health center was something that we knew we needed. That was the third most common question from parents is, where's your student health center? And we didn't have one. And so it became a reality a few years ago when I had the opportunity to sit in a few meetings about the development of our student health center and recognizing this was a huge need. And so never did we imagine that we would be preparing for a pandemic. And it has been awesome that we could really partner with our students during this time and really help them. I just think of, having a health center and providing services off campus that we had done for so many years, and the difference that it makes to be able to partner with them now when walking through a diagnosis of like COVID, and to be able to call them. We have telehealth visits with them every single day, and we talk to them. How are you doing? Are you taking your medicines? Are you staying hydrated? All of those things. And we're able to offer that on our campus, and it's really awesome. And so I'm so thankful to have this opportunity and to be able to give back to our university. I'm very thankful, and thank you for the award. It truly is an honor to be a recipient of it. Thank you.
We're so glad that you joined us this evening. We also have one other alum on the call. I don't know if you are willing to say hello to our Dolphin nurses. Patty, are you there? I don't know if she's around or not. I'm gonna say Patty Parrish. I think she's class of 1967, I want to say. And she's been tuning in all week to some of our events. So I was curious to see if she would say hello to us. But either way, this portion is really, I wanted to talk to you guys and see if some of you would be willing to share like maybe some fond memories you had when you were a student at JU, or what JU means to you, just to make the feel goods go around.
I remember back when I was getting my bachelor's, we were still in that little house, that little white house.
What happened to
And
that
that
little
was,
White House?
they were just finishing the Lazar building, and we were getting ready, they moved nursing into Lazar after that. But yeah, we were in the little house for a while.
Amber,
that was quite a while ago.
I miss that house.
yes.
There is a picture of that house that I
Yes.
require hangs on the ceiling of the undergrad director office. That's a requirement that I have asked for.
It's the Stevens house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I used to sit out on the porch on the swing. When we were in between classes, we would sit out there. And when I was in school, I was there from 89 to 93. We were actually in, they were old ROTC buildings that we were in. I think there was two of them, wasn't there, Amber?
Yeah, those were where we did our skills and simulations.
They had skills. Yeah. In the back of the building is where we did skills, and in the front is where we had classrooms. And literally, I think we had two classrooms.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think I had Dr. Lee Hart for at least 2 classes.
Yeah, I had her for, she taught me critical care. To this day, I can still read a blood gas like that.
Yeah, I'll tell a funny story from when I was in school. I lived in the dorms. I lived in Bots when I was an undergraduate student, and I was very involved in campus activities and so forth. And so I was always busy on the go. And I actually overslept one morning for clinical. And you can just imagine, it was my critical care clinical. And the professor who called me, she actually called called the dorm room. And I slept on the top bunk. So I heard the phone ringing. I jump off the top bunk and I answer the phone and I'm like, hello. And she says, this is your worst nightmare. And so, I'm like, I'm so sorry. She said, just get here. We'll talk when you get here. But that was it was just the awful experience, the experience you never want to have as a student, as your professor calling you and telling you this is your worst nightmare. But that's exactly what happened. But that was my critical care rotation.
And we still do that to this day, by the way. We still make phone calls and say, are you okay?
Yeah.
I was gonna
If
ask.
not, yeah, we still do it consistently.
yeah.
We still make calls.
Yeah. Yeah, I overslept, but she was like, just get here. We'll talk when you get here. But it was just funny the way she did it.
Yeah.
Anybody have a story that you can top that can top?
Elaine was Miss JU. There you go.
Oh,
We do have to point that out.
I point it out every chance I get because it's like the hair
Yes,
she
she
had
does.
is every chance I get.
I did have some big hair. That was 1980s hair. It was.
It's beautiful.
Well, my son passed out in clinical and had to go to the ER
Yeah.
at Mayo. $3,000 later.
Oh, wow.
Ouch.
Is
Oh,
Patty
That was
muted?
Kevin?
Yeah.
He's not the only one, Julie.
Oh,
we
no.
have it quite a bit. I've become an expert at holding them, bringing them down. Like that's
Yeah, well, he should have had breakfast and he didn't. So
that's usually what happens. Yep.
Hey, Patty, I'm sorry you were stuck on mute. I thank you for that cryptic message. I love that. Oh, we can't hear you though. Maybe do you have anything plugged into your headphones? No? I'm not sure why
it
it's,
happened earlier to someone.
yeah. Do you want to log out and log back in? That did work last night when this happened. If it's not too much work. I would love for the Dolphin nurses to hear about your
I know.
background.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
Is she a nurse?
No, she has a pharmaceutical degree. I'm going to butcher it. I will let Patty. She's going to kill me because I don't have the right answer to your question. She's not a nurse, but her
Okay.
entire background, she's 3 times retired, has been in research and pharmacy, and I'm looking up her degree right now. She's going to be very mad at me. Medical.
Just made her a co-host. Maybe she could try now. I don't know if
It
that
won't.
was.
I already did. It won't let me.
Hmm.
Or you're the host. You might have to. Yeah.
I've made her a co-host. So she should be able to now.
It's so funny y'all talk about the Stevens house because I was looking at something for homecoming and found the photo, and I should have saved it because now I can't find it again. I don't know if I was in Our Place Under the Sun or if I was on our actual web app, but
It was
it's so different thinking about all the
was-
technology y'all have now.
it was Pepto-Bismol pink for a while, and then they painted it white.
All right, Patty was medical technology. That was her degree. I'm sorry I butchered
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah.
No, I still can't.
I still can't hear you.
Probably call her and put her over my phone.
I'm not sure. All right, well, I have a question. Best advice y'all could give new nurses?
Well, you gave some great top 10s right there. And one of the key ones that stands out to me is finding a mentor. How important that is to find someone that you can build a good relationship with, that you can go to, that you can talk to them, ask them questions. I even still do that today, even though I've been in healthcare for a really long time. Find someone that's even more seasoned than me, and they continue to mentor me. We're always can be learning. And so find somebody that you can count on, that's you can go to and give you some guidance. And really, that's Amy, remember we talked about that. That's a key thing when you're starting a new career, if it's in nursing or if it's a nurse practitioner, whatever it may be, is to find somebody that can come alongside you, take you arm by arm and walk you through those first few years of your career.
Right. You got to use your resources. If you have a certain teacher that you like to talk to, or your preceptors while you're in school, you just got to start networking from day one and see who you click best with and who you build a trusting relationship with, and trust that they'll guide you in the right direction.
I think
Afraid to ask for help, definitely.
Ask for
If
help.
you feel like you're getting bogged down in your shift, ask for help. Don't wait till you're drowning. Always ask for help.
I think I agree with both of those. I had a mentor, Julianne Andre. She literally altered the trajectory of my life. But also I always tell the students to keep a curious mind. because I think curiosity leads to critical thinking and just asking questions. I think that's really kind of what sets JU nursing apart from some of the other nurses I've met in my career, is we have curious minds. We want to know why. We don't like things surface level. We like to get deeper.
Right.
Hey, Amber, was Julianne one of the original that with Ruth Steele in the
Yes.
development of our program? Yeah, so she was one of the faculty members along with Carol Kayer, Ruth Steele. Jean Richards came very shortly after.
Joy McConnell.
Joey McConnell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All original faculty members with the School of Nursing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She was an original.
Yeah,
in
Ruth
many ways.
Steele, she created the program right there in the Howard building. Pencil and paper, began writing the program for our School of Nursing at JU. And she was a mentor to me.
I'm going to ask another question, Chelsea. I know you want to come.
Go right ahead.
But out of everything that has happened this year, and this is for the people that work at JU, this is for Amy at Mayo, V at UF Health. When you look back on 2020 as a nurse, as a Dolphin nurse, or just nurses in your community in general, what are you most proud of? What are you going to remember and take into next year with you?
That we didn't back out and we showed the people what nurses are about. Like, we were always trusted as a profession, but now they saw how driven we are. I mean, we risked our lives, our families' lives, to make sure that the community is safe. Like, to me, that's a lot of strength. Like, I get goosebumps when I think about how strong nurses are and truly how far we've come.
I agree with that completely. That's exactly right. When everybody else wanted to stay in, nurses went on the front lines. So that's nursing.
Yeah, and at JU, they teach you from, at least what I remember from day one, to be a nurse, you got to adapt to change. You can't stay stagnant with anything. You got to keep learning. If something new pops up, just like we're doing with COVID, nobody really has all the answers right now, but we're learning about it. We're researching it to find answers for everybody. So you just got to have lifelong learning attitude and learn how to adapt to change.
I love that. I'm gonna make a quote out of that eventually and put it on social media from both of you. Really well said. So how would you guys say that you would give advice to anyone who's going back to work, going back for an advanced degree while they're working full time? Any advice you have for people trying to balance all of that, all the competing demands? Because I know some of you are doing that right now.
You have to take at least one day a week for yourself, uninterrupted. Do something you like to do. You have to fit that in somehow.
Amber, what do you do?
Well, I think that, I learned in business school, there's some philosophies out there on work expands to fill the time available. So when you set deadlines and things for yourself and you have a clear calendar and you know what you need to do, you can stay on track that way. And people ask a lot of times, how do you juggle the stuff that you do? And that's why. When you're driven and you have things planned out in your life, that way all the curveballs that come your way, at least you have the base plan of what you want to accomplish. So to me, that's helped a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Patty, can we hear from you? Can we hear you? Can you try talking again? I would say one of yours is muted and one of them's not.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. I wanted to give y'all a historical perspective because I started Jacksonville University in 1963 in the dormitory. And that's also when the first nursing classes started. And I had several friends in the dorm that were nursing students. Sometimes I think that history has sort of gotten lost.
Yes.
Because it was, I'm not sure how many years the program went, and then it was ended, and then it was a long period of time before it, started again. So just historically, you know, I would like to add that in that I know a couple of people I can remember their name, Bobby Boyd. I know she was a nurse at UF Health with me. We started out when it was called the Duval Medical Center, then it went to University Medical Center, then it went to Shands, and I retired from there with 32 years as a laboratory manager. Lots of stories, which I know you nurses have a lot of stories. Sometime we need to get together and, you know, talk about those stories of working in the trenches there. And then I went to Lake City Medical Center and retired as their lab director. And then I went to Florida Department of Health and retired in their department in newborn screening. So I have practiced 53 years with my Jacksonville University medical technology degree, which I know all you nurses wanted that long a career, because nurses are in such demand, same as medical technologists or laboratorians, that you could practice 50, 60 years, you know, if you can hold up. So I keep saying that was my last job, but I've had a lot of job offers that sound interesting, but right now I'm just the essential grandmother. I drive my 2 grandchildren to school in the morning and then pick them up in the afternoon. So after 53 years of being the essential worker, I had to get used to being the essential grandmother, but I'm settling in.
That's
I'm
awesome.
sure they enjoy that. Thank you for that, Patty. So good to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the virtual homecoming. Been fun.
Glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. Well, do you guys have any other cool stories you want to share that you want to put up?
So when I started as a new nurse, I did not realize that I don't do well with needles. So when it was time to give my first sub-Q shot, my instructor was like, you know, let me see you give your first sub-Q shot. And I gave my first sub-Q shot, and then I excused myself to the bathroom. I went and laid down, put my feet on the toilet seat on the bathroom floor. You know, I was on the bathroom floor, toilet seat up so I can get the blood to the brain. I got up there looking like a little funny, but never said anything to my clinical instructor. So whenever people say, oh my God, I can never do this, I'm like, ma'am, let me tell you. Now I can, like, you have arterial blood coming at me, it's fine. You have like your limbs in like 100 pieces, it's fine. So if I can make it, you can make it. You get over it. I think you get desensitized, but that's my first story to everybody that says I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you stuck with it.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
I wish I had something as cool to say about it like that, but
You always have to be prepared for the unexpected.
Oh.
One night I was in charge, and one of the nurses came up to me and said, I think my patient's having a baby.
Oh.
And I was like, what? No way. They didn't tell me that in report. So I go into the room and the patient had a foot hanging out of her. And she was on a ventilator, and she was very obese, and nobody knew she was pregnant. This was before the days that we did pregnancy tests in the ER. And I told the lady not to push. But next thing you know, that little baby came right out into my hand. And I was standing there holding this little tiny 23 weeker in my hand. And I could feel the little heartbeat going in the palm of my hand. And I was going like this, thinking, you know, I got the hot potato here. What am I going to do? And all the nurses were around, and they were all crying because they thought the baby was dead. And I was yelling things like, call the NICU, call the ER, call this one, call that one. And the only thing I had was an ambu bag, an adult ambu bag that fit over the entire body of this little baby. And it seemed like an eternity, but they all came running, and they cut the cord and whisked the baby away. And from what I found out afterwards, the baby went to Wilson's and survived.
Wow.
So that was my exciting story in critical care.
That's amazing.
We see miracles all the time like that in the NICU, all the time. That's the beauty of nursing is we've got some sad stories, but such good stories too. A lot of people think that nursing is just full of bad things. It's really not. I have had such a rewarding career where the babies, like you just talked about, Michelle, they come out and they literally will fit in your hand. And then 20 years later, 18 years later, they're sending you pictures of themselves graduating. That's, besides making you feel really old, that's a wonderful feeling, to have them still keep in contact with you, the families. So nursing is full of wonderful things too, right? Not just bad things.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. These stories just make me feel so good. And I know that this network is full of those stories. And I just love hearing that, because you guys really do have such similar but different experiences. And that's what I feel like you guys can connect over and share your war stories basically with each other. And nobody else knows what your job is like besides each of you. I have no idea what you guys do every day. And even begin to imagine to know what sort of pressure you guys are under and how you can think on your feet and just make decisions. And I can't decide what I want for dinner every night. And so I commend all of you for taking on a career that you're heroes. You really are. You do things that nobody else wants to do, and you save people's lives. And that's the coolest thing ever, really. I'm so glad to know each and every one of you, and that you're my friends now. And I love that.
Good Chelsea.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, I was hoping that there would be a few more faces on here this evening so we could get to know them as well. Really, the rest of the time is for us to just sit and chat and to just hang out. I don't want to cut this short because it's been a while since I've seen your faces, and I'm happy to be with you in your presence.
And we got all cleaned up, so might as well take advantage of it.
Thank you all for putting your faces on and washing your hair for this special occasion. It's your big debut, V.
And this one's debut. He's a foster, and he's a renal failure pupper.
Fluffy Puff. Fluffy
Yes,
Puff.
he's so cute.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, look at Julie's dog.
What are you doing, Julie?
Really?
Julie's like, let me show you guys around.
Oh, she's 14 and definitely like one of those acute care geriatric things that you guys talk about all the time. So I would like to say that the faculty during the whole COVID thing were just absolutely amazing. I mean, it's just like they jumped in, and every single day was a different day, and there was something happening every day with getting people masks or getting simulation software, trying to get simulation software approved by the provost, and trying to get them, their clinicals. And, all the students, they've all thrived and survived through all of it. You guys have just done great.
Love that. And I'm glad to hear that, because one of the majors that I thought that was going to take the hardest hit was nursing students. I'm like, how do you do social distance nursing learning? Like, how do you do that? And to know that you guys are our little brains of the operation over here, our little distinguished alumna over here helping to lead the charge.
Great example.
Yeah.
Coming up with virtual simulations has been the hardest. Coming up with all those case studies so that everybody can, you can give them the best patient that you can think of that they might run into in your various classes, in critical care, coming up with 8 different patient scenarios and having the students rotate through all those patients. And you want them to be meaningful so that they'll do well on NCLEX and reflect back to their clinical. And that's been a real challenge, I think, trying to come up with 90 clinical hours of virtual.
Well, I think it's been, we were very innovative though. So we
Absolutely.
really pulled together, you know, the number of hours we worked. It's just, I can only speak for undergrad because I don't work in the grad program, but undergrad faculty, I mean, I can't stress enough how unbelievable hardworking that they were, and innovative as well. So to get through this and have our students still pass that NCLEX and be productive nurses, it really is something. And you got to look at opportunities, things like this, as an opportunity. And I personally learned a lot during this time that now we can use moving forward. So I think in a weird way, I think it actually helped us to move us forward in a direction and to think outside the box. So, you know, you got to look at situations like this and see them for the opportunity that they really are.
I agree with you. I think that, you know, it really has made everybody better. I mean, I think it's made the students better. It's elevated it to the whole school to a different level.
It's definitely forced us to
Who would have thought when we're afraid to
at
go
the
to grocery
technology.
store? Yeah.
I'll say, well,
Oh,
does
one more
it-
question.
yeah,
Jack.
I was gonna say
For
we have-
Amy and V, I know y'all have dolphin nurses both at Mayo and UF. Can you speak to kind of how you form almost those small cohorts or find each other within your kind of hospital networks, and how other alums can try to attempt to do that too? I know, Amy, you're at Mayo with Kaylee as well, and how y'all have kind of made those connections together. And V, I know we have other dolphin nurses at UF Health too.
So I don't know, it's weird, but we tend to find each other. Where did you go, Jay? Oh my God, hey, Finn. You know, it's very funny, like this network, and we help each other a lot. Like even at these events we went where you gain the CEUs, Amanda Carr is an ER nurse, and she's like, oh, I'm coming to the CICU. I'm like, here's my number. I work CICU. Let's do this. And we just find each other. Like, I don't know, like even my clinical for my BSN, when I had to do, you know, the whole program, it was a Finn nurse. I didn't go to anybody else except, it's not like I, you know, don't like other schools. My ASN was from FSCJ, but it's weird. It's a pride. I went to JU and I got like slapped a couple of times because they're like, stop, you know, saying that around. I'm like, what? I'm a Finn forward. I mean, literally, it's a pride. We also, it's so weird. Chris Howard is our clinical instructor for our unit. And he was like, hey, I got a couple of JU nurses that need to shadow you guys. Automatically we jumped. It was the JU nurses. Hey, I got them. It's like, I don't know, it's like a kind of strong bond we have. Even though I didn't go on campus, it's just a pride we have. Sorry.
I'd agree that at Mayo, we don't really have like a set way to find each other. We just, you know, I know when I worked in the ICU, when a new nurse would come on board, we always ask where they went, and then you just kind of in conversation find one another. And there is a lot of pride for people who've gone to JU. And I think that speaks volumes to the program and, you know, throughout the city having a lot of alumni at all the various hospitals. But I think we all kind of know each other, even if we are at different hospitals. And there's lots of times where you may switch hospitals and people shift from time to time where they work. But I think we have, you know, to kind of conclude a bunch of questions, you know, one of the things JU that stands out about it that I always tell people is they treat you like a person, even throughout the whole program. So you're not a number. You're not going to some huge university, even though it is a big university, where you're going to say, okay, you're nursing student number 1 and we accept this amount every year. They really get to know you. They treat you like a person, a human being. And I'll just say that Elaine has been one of my favorite mentors. And if you knew my story, you would know I'm getting teary-eyed, but I had a special needs child who had open heart surgery at 3 weeks, and she helped me with that process so much. From the moment I found out and I texted her I couldn't come to class because I had to get a procedure, through the rest of my, you know, career at JU as an NP student. So, and we still talk today and we check in with each other, and she has meant the world to me. So thank you, Elaine.
But that's what JU is about. We care about each other. We love each other. We stay in touch with each other. And it's really just that deep personal connection. And I think that's why we keep coming back and wanting to give back to the next generation.
Yeah.
So, sorry for the tears.
Yeah.
Give you a hug. No, that's so beautiful.
You know, I think of Amber. You know, Amber and I, when I first came back to JU as a faculty member, I was in 2015, and mine and Amber's, our offices were right across the hall from each other. And Amber was the undergraduate director at that time. And I could remember when it got close to NCLEX time, she had a list of students and she'd just call them, hey, you got this, we're thinking about you. And she would give them a pep talk. Every single student that had graduated, she'd call and give them a pep talk. And she wanted, hey, let us know how you're doing. And it was like, that's just awesome. That is what JU is all about, is that personal touch right there. And Amber Santos, you are a rock star. I am telling you, you are just an outstanding professor, and we are so fortunate to have you, because you are so, she is dedicated to her students, and it's just absolutely amazing. So amazing.
Right back at you. Right back at you. Yeah, to me, that is what JU is, right? If it's Julianne Andre did that for me, and that is what I do as well. So yeah, it didn't matter what country I was in. If I was like on break, I remember sending texts from New Zealand to students, because I knew, and I had to think of the case, like 12-hour time difference, you know, and I had to be like, okay, so I need to text them at this time. And I'd be, so in the middle of the night, I'd set the alarm just to text, so that when they got the text, it was before they walked into the NCLEX. And my husband's like, what are you doing? I'm like, just working, you know. So but that's JU, right? To me, that is JU. That is really what sets us apart. That's why students come here. It's for the relationship that we form. So, and I think the pandemic brought us together as well, because when it hit, we had a lot of alum that were nervous and scared, and they didn't know what was going to happen to them. And now I'm going on the front line, and whether they had just graduated 3 months or 3 years, you know, they were reaching out on Facebook. And that's when Professor Melissa McCrae and I were like, well, let's do something. So I created that video. She got the masks organized, and you know, it's all about doing something, right? As long as you can do something, do something. So I think the pandemic actually, graduates that I hadn't heard from in a long time reached out, and then I got the JU Advocate, so that way I could get them to come on to Alumni, the JU DolphiNurse, so to try to get everybody connected the best we could. So I think the pandemic brought us together as well. So a lot of people reached out during that time.
It's brought us together in different ways that we would have never thought of coming together. And that's what's so really awesome about it too.
There's a 2017 graduate that thinks a lot of both of you guys. In fact, he says, why isn't Dr. Bourne being a professor any longer?
Well, I am professing in different ways now.
I know. I told him he can still text you and ask you. I think he's taking PATHO, maybe. I don't know. There's a DMP program.
Tell him to call me anytime.
I told him he can still call you. So
tell him I miss him. If he wants to come back and do peds all over again, he can. He's welcome back in my classroom.
No peds,
I know he is itching to
no
do
women's
that.
health, believe me.
Amy, how's your new job going as a hospitalist nurse practitioner now?
Congratulations.
Great. Yeah, thank you. It's good. I've been doing it since February, and for me, it's totally different because I only ever did ICU nursing. So it was kind of like, wow, there's this whole other world outside of the ICU. But I definitely think my ICU experience has helped me. And I think the acute care program also helped me, and with the hospitalist, and I'm learning a lot. It's great. I'm never bored. It's constant learning. We get to see all kinds of patients, but I love it.
Good. Awesome. It's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost that time, but You guys are just a little special group that I am so glad that you guys felt the need to organize yourselves however many years ago it was now, and you decided that you needed this space, this network, this community of graduates where you could come together and just be a family together, network with one another, share your successes and all of your life together. And I am just so glad that I've been able to help you guys formalize it a little bit more. And we're trying to touch nurses outside of Jacksonville, all ends of the earth, really. We're trying to see how we can engage our nurses no matter where they are on the globe. And we can't do it all overnight, but I'm excited. The DolphiNurses, from the moment I met you guys to now, have gone leaps and bounds, truly, with your programming, your events, your scholarships, and everything like that. And I'm just so looking forward to working with this new group of officers for this next year, and trying to just see what we can make happen. Because like you said, you're adaptive, you're inventive, and you're innovative. And I am just really excited to see what you guys put together over the next year. And I think that while not everyone enjoys this virtual life, we are reaching people that we didn't have the opportunity to reach before. And I'm hoping that it really inspires some people to just stay connected, hang on, tether themselves to JU in one way or another, and find what speaks to them, and let's use that to keep them part of the family, keep them connected, and keep them informed, because we know that everyone goes through different seasons of life, and they can't always be as active as we want them to be, or show up when we want them to, and that's okay, because we know that they'll be there, and we know, and they should know that you guys, this DolphiNurse Alumni Network, will be there for them when they're ready to come back. And so I'm excited to keep pushing out the newsletter, trying to reach more people, and planning for next homecoming. I'm excited to already, our office, we're already talking about next year and what that's going to look like, and we can't wait to start. As soon as January comes, we're going to be right there talking about it. And I just thank you guys for all your time and your dedication and your heart and your soul. I truly think that this rubs off on others, because some people feel that way and they're just a little scared to say it or to admit it, or to come clean with the way they feel about things. And I appreciate you guys just wearing your heart on your sleeve and always showing up and just being the model dolphins that you are. You really are leaders in the Alumni Network, and I cannot thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. So I really appreciate you guys spending your Friday evening with us. I wish we could do it in person. We can have glasses of wines.
Julie had hers.
What's that? Julie has hers. We'll have to catch up a little later. I got some water here. But hey, that's okay. That's what we would be doing if we were together in person anyways.
It's Friday night.
It is.
Yes.
And so I don't know what you guys have in store for the rest of your evenings. Like I said, this is the last event for JU Stay at Homecoming Week, but we do have the students right now are watching a movie out in the Valley area-ish. I don't know, down over there. And as soon as their movie is done, they're gonna have fireworks, and we're live streaming that on Facebook. And so it's through the actual Jacksonville University Facebook. So if you, in an hour from now, you're not doing anything, just look at them up on Facebook, and you should be able to click their name, and it will live stream the video. And so I just think that would be a nice way to just be like, oh, it's still exciting. We're still trying to make it homecoming a thing on campus, and as best as we could. And I think that we kind of did it for all that it's worth. And I think that that's the best way to round out this year. Absolutely. Marianne just put, they're by the Dolphin Green. So that's the link so that you can watch it later if you want to.
And what time are the fireworks?
They said between. The movie's supposed to end right at 9, so 9:30-ish is what student engagement said.
Oh, okay.
We're still on campus, so I think we're going to try and sneak down there and go see them.
Okay.
Yes. But
Okay.
thank you guys for joining us, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, a great weekend, and I can't wait to see you guys again very soon, and hopefully it's in person and not over a computer screen.
All
And
right.
to you
Thank you.
too. To
Thank
you
you.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Congratulations, Elaine. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Yes,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Bye, guys.